it's Michelle, and today I've got for you a Pilates mat workout that is all about the abs. So we're going to work them in all different directions and get a really good focused core workout. Okay, so let's get warmed up seated. So come down onto your mat, have your legs out in front of you. They can be hip width apart or they can be all the way together. Knees bent. You're just going to rest your hands on your shins. Take a breath in and sit up tall. And then you're going to fold forward, gently pulling yourself down with your arms. And already here, think of this as the start of our ab workout. So draw those abdominals away from your thighs. And then as you inhale, sit back up tall. Do that again. So the back of the pelvis stays still, and it's the spine that moves us into that rounded back. And then we come back up tall. Let's do that a couple more times. So actively shortening those abdominals rather than laying flat on our thighs, we're kind of pulling the abs away from the legs. Very good. Now let's get down there and stay. Hold that rounded position. As you inhale, breathe into the backs and sides of your ribs. And then feel even more connection to those abs as you blow the air out. Do that 2 more times. Inhale. And then exhale. Let go of any tension in the shoulders. Okay, 1 more time. Biggest, fullest breath in. And then breathe out. Okay, now keep this rounded shape and you're just going to reach the arms out over your legs. Take an inhale to prepare. Now exhale, you're going to leave your back in this rounded position, but just roll away by opening your hips and then dive back over your thighs. Do that again. So now it's the spine that's maintaining the shape and the pelvis that's moving us back and forward. Yes, we're rolling that pelvis away from the femurs and then back. And the arms can just stay level with the floor. Let's do that 2 more times. Good. Last one. Now this time, pause here. We're going to go down in 3 pieces. So roll back 1/3 of the way and hold. Roll back 2/3 of the way and hold. Roll back as far as you can, maybe even your low back touches, and then come all the way back in one movement. Do that again. So we go back for 3, go a little further, 2, go the furthest you can, 1, and then all the way back over your legs. Let's do that 2 more times. If you need some assistance, grab on behind your thighs and you can use the arms to help you on that return. Yes? Now 1 more time, back in 3. Now pause at the bottom and we're going to reverse that. So come up in 3. 3, 2, 1, and then take 1 long sweep to go to your deepest half roll back. And then again, we come up for 3, for 2, for 1, and then dive back in that 1 long movement. 2 more times. Up, 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 and then 1 long roll back. So good. Last time. Up, 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 and then this time just rest your arms on your shins and take a little break. Whew, so nice. All right, now we're going to add some rotation. So start in that same position, rounded over your thighs, arms are level with the floor. Now we're going to roll back just halfway, not as crazy as we just were. And I want you to take one arm and sweep it down. So kind of brush it along the ground to reach it behind you, return, and then dive over your legs. So 4 counts. Now feel really active through your feet. Almost like if you were an octopus and you had those little suckers on your feet, feel like those are really tractioning into the ground. Very nice. Okay, let's do that 3 more times. Maybe you get a little deeper roll back each time. Last 2. Knees stay lined right up with the hips. Last 1. Very good. Now pause over your legs and hold. Now we're going to do that in 2 breaths instead of 4. So 1 long exhale to sweep and reach, and then an inhale to return. Other side, reach, and then return. Taking the head with you. Our head weighs a lot, yes? So by taking our head back and looking at that arm, we're making our abs carry that weight. Last one. Whew. All right, now I want you to roll to the ground as slowly as humanly possible. Grab the legs if you need to, but just start to tuck under and articulate your spine down, 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 until we're all the way flat on the mat. All right, okay, next, Come on down, get comfortable, and then just rock your pelvis back and forth a couple times. Okay. So you want to find a nice neutral position with a curve under your back, and then smush the curve away and go to what we call imprint. Yeah. So these are kind of the two main positions that we're going to be working with. Yes, you can choose either one to do your ab work in. Neutral is a little bit more challenging. Tucking to imprint, you get a little bit more support. So you choose for you what's going to work better while we start into this ab work supine, okay? So for me, I'm going to stay neutral. Take your arms behind your head. Hands are grabbing onto the back of your skull. Okay, you want your elbows in the corners of your vision. We're going to take a breath in. Exhale. Keep whatever position you chose in your low back as you curl off the mat and then lay back down. Yeah, so I chose neutral. So as I curl up, I'm going to not smash my low back towards the floor and then come back down. Yes, if you're unable to do that and the imprint is happening, then just start an imprint. It's all good, yeah? But we want to just kind of pick a position in that low back that we can maintain so we can focus on the movement in the upper spine. Okay, now again, our shoulder blades are another thing that are going to help us here. They want to be coming apart and forward and then drawing back together. Yes, they have to kind of follow that movement of the spine. So almost overdo it. It's okay to feel like your shoulders are coming up to your ears once or twice to get that feeling, and then you can kind of course correct and find where we want to be. All right, now the next time we curl up, you're going to hold. Don't move your back. Just reach your arms by your thighs, come back to your head, and then lay back down. Do that again. Exhale to curl. Now breathe in and reach without disconnecting through the abdominals. Return, and then lay back down. Let's do that a couple more times. See if you can make those shoulder blades widen apart even more. Return, and then lower. Let's do that 2 more times. Up, reach, 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 curl higher, return, and then last one. Flex, reach, grab, and then rest all the way down. Whew. So good. All right, drop your arms for a moment. Leave your head flat, and then just take a few tabletop lifts. So if you want to hold your pelvis, if that's helpful to see if you're keeping it stable, or leave the hands flat. Yeah, just start picking up one leg at a time and see if you can stabilize so that your torso doesn't go swinging side to side with the loss of that leg. All right. Now that we've gotten our lower body going, take the hands behind the head again. When a leg floats up, you're going to curl into that same ab prep and then release and lower. Everything comes in towards center and then lower. Exhale and replace. All right, now we're going to make it a little more challenging. Now curl up and hold. Bring the other leg up to tabletop as well. Place one foot back down. As the second foot touches, you can lay the head on the mat. Do that again. Try to switch up which leg goes first. Curl. Now stay as the other leg lifts. Replace one, and then let the head lower. Let's do that 2 more times. So we're having to hold that position as the legs are moving. Lower and replace. So good. Last one. Lift. Now just leave your legs up, but rest your head down for a moment. Okay, kind of recover. Now next, legs are going to stay tabletop, squeezing together, and we're going to get our obliques going by rotating side to side. So inhale to get ready. The legs are going to stay where they are, and the upper body is going to rotate off to one side and then lower. Yeah, so a lot of times we talk about like elbow to opposite knee, right? That's not wrong, but it helps a little bit more to think of like armpit to the outside of the thigh. Yes, so it's not our arm dropping the elbow, it's our torso, that shoulder blade coming off. Now curl over and stay, just like before. Hold and reach the arms, bring them back to the head, and then lower down. Other side, curl and hold, reach, replace, and lower. A few more times. Very good. Try to get that opposite arm to come way across the thigh. Now, if you'd like, rotate and hold. When you reach the arms, you're going to reach the leg that you're not crossed over. So the back leg, and then return and lower. So for me, I'm flexing up to the left. I'm going to reach my right leg, come back, and replace. Woo, few more times, reach, return, and lower. Very good. Now, the next time you get up there, I want you to stay and hold. And we're just going to breathe here for 5, for 4, 3, maybe reach a little higher, 2, 1, and then lay down. And let's do the other side. Whew. Curl over and stay. And then we hold. Squeeze your glutes. Lower body active. 3, 2, lift a little higher. 1, and then grab your shins and lay back flat. Whew. So good, you guys. Okay, next we are going to finish our supine work with some hundreds, which is always a favorite, right? All right, so come back to that tabletop. Let's start our 100 laying flat. So without our head up, I want you to feel the sensation just of pumping these arms. You're going to feel your core already start to kick on. So hover your hands, take a breath in, and start finding some nice, precise little pumps, yeah? Almost like you have miniature drums under your hands and you're beating down, down, down. Yes, so we're going to inhale through our nose for 5 counts, and then breathe out through pursed lips for 5 counts. Yes, even just the combination of that breath pattern and these arms pumping is enough to get those abs turned on. Next, you can lift your head, neck, and shoulders and continue. At any point, you can place one hand behind your head or place your head back on the mat if your neck needs that support. All right, next, I want you to straighten your legs up to the ceiling. Now, for 5 counts, drop one leg into a scissor and then lift it back up. Whew, other leg down for 5, up for 5. So good. Remember that trick we said one hand can go back? Whew, very good. We'll do a few more sets. Down and up. Let's do 4 more total. Lower and lift. 3 more and lift. Awesome. 2 more. All right, last one. Bend your knees back to tabletop. Curl a little higher and then grab your knees and lay back. Ooh, awesome, you guys. All right, roll to your side. We're going to come up and continue our ab work, except not lying on our backs, which it's fun to realize we can work our abdominals without laying down. Okay, so we're going to come onto all fours, which is one of my personal favorite places to feel connected to our abdominals, because unlike being on our back, we actually have to use our abs against gravity, right? When we're on our back, gravity's pushing down on the abs. Here, we have to actively draw them up, and it's just a cool thing, all right? So knees under hips, hands under shoulders, press into your fingertips, and we're going to start by just taking a nice cat stretch. So extend your spine and look up. So stretching out those ab muscles we were just working. That should feel really good. And then tuck under and try to push the tops of your feet and your hands hard into the floor. Good. So we're stretching out the abdominals. Feel your sits bones widening apart. And then exhale, push with the feet. Feel that ab connection. Very good. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, we stretch out the abs. And then we press and connect to them. Yeah, try to let your glutes go to sleep a little bit so that the abs can really be the star. Here. All right, now get to neutral. So long spine with a slight low back curve. Now I just want you to barely hover one hand off of the mat and then place it back down. Do that with the other hand. Float and then replace. Yes, so subtle movement, but the less you move the rest of your body, the more those obliques are going to have to kick in to make up for that hand leaving the mat. Let's do that 2 more times. So your 2 shoulders and your 2 hips nice and square and level with each other. Now leave your hands down and we're going to do the same thing with our knees. Just barely hover one knee and then replace it back down. Other side, teeny hover and down. And again, feel this coming from your core. Don't change the shape of your back. Just shift the weight enough to take the weight out of the leg that's lifting. All right, next, opposite arm and opposite leg. Hover off at the same time and then come back down. Lift. Yes, the less of us that touches the ground, the harder this is. A few more times. It's amazing, right? How even just something simple like this can really get us working down in those abdominals. All right, now pause with one arm and leg off. You're going to reach them out away from each other till they're straight. Now, when they come back together, I want you to take your hand, keep your neutral spine, and smash, yes, like you were trying to pop a bubble between your hand and your knee. Now do that again. Now I'm not rounding my back, which sometimes is a common thing to do here. We're not going to do that. Yes, by keeping neutral, we can get a lot more connection into our total core muscles and not just those more surface ones. Yes, all right, let's do that 2 more times. Push, 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 push. If you had a little ball balanced on the small of your back, don't drop it. Now keep the pressure. Take a breath in. Now I want you to flex your spine and push even harder into those 2 places, and then lengthen your spine back out. Keep your hand on your knee. Do that again. Round and push, 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 and then lengthen and release a little bit. 2 more times. Curl and push. And then release. 1 more, round and push. And now just do some little pulses. So it's like your knee is winning the tug of war, and then your hand is winning. Back and forth. Keep your spine rounded. 3, 2, 1. And then set those 2 down. Whew. Okay. Let's do that on the other side. So take your new arm and leg away from each other till they're long. Keep your low back curve and try to crush the bubble between your knee and hand, and then lengthen back out. Yes, so keeping neutral, we can feel down into that transversus abdominis a little bit more. Very good. And then especially on the obliques, on that working leg side, those kick on a little bit more. 2 more. All right, now keep the pressure with hand and knee and just flex your spine, maybe increase that press, and then release your back to neutral. Yeah, so your knee can just kind of stay at that hover, and we push into it and then release. 2 more, press and round, and then release. Now hold that rounded place and do little pulses. Your knee comes closer, and then the hand pushes it away. So good. 3, 2, 1, and then set everything back down. Whew. All right, sit back on your heels and stretch it out. Amazing. All right, you guys, we're going to come to kneeling now and work even more on our obliques in some side bending actions, okay? So come on to your knees. You can pad up or roll up your mat if you need a little bit more cushion, okay? So you're just going to be kneeling, but one foot is going to come out to the side, okay? A little bit in front of your body. So this is kind of an unstable position. So a lot of potential for the pelvis to move. So try to keep that still and stacked. You're going to reach your arms out to the sides. So like your lower body is in cement, but from the waist up, we're free to move, okay? We're gonna rotate to one side. Just go as deeply as you can. You can bend your back elbow if that helps you go a little deeper, and then come back up. I'm gonna bend my elbow so I don't hit the wall, okay? You can either keep your back elbow straight or you can bend it. All right, so just kind of notice how active that lower body has to be to not start moving around. Yes. All right, now we're going to add some pulses to this. So when we twist to one side, we're going to stay, pulse a little deeper for 3, release and go further 2, look behind you 1, and then come back up. Go to the other side. Twist, 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 and return. Yeah, when you go towards the lifted leg, I like to feel like a connection between this back oblique and that inner thigh. 2, 1. So good. One more time to either side. Twist, twist. Try to plant heavy into the floor. Last one. Okay, now take this leg, straighten it, and turn it parallel. So the sole of my foot is down, even my pinky toe. Now take the hands to your forehead. Keep your hips nice and stacked, and we're going to go over, away from that straight leg in a side bend, and then come back up tall. Now go towards the straight leg and come back up. Good. So you'll notice going away from the straight leg is more challenging. Going towards it is a little bit more of a stretch. Yes, so this hip is going to stay over knee as best you can. All right, let's do that one more time to either side. Very good. Now side bend away from the long leg. I want you to grab around your ribs with one arm, take the other arm long overhead, and do some little pulses up and down. Doesn't matter which arm because we're going to do both, okay? Up and back. Good. Try not to move your lower body. So we're staying angled away from the long leg. 2. Now hold over there and switch arms, and we pulse up. Up, you should be leaning so far, it's almost like that straight leg foot is going to come off the ground. 3, 2, 1. Good. Now come all the way up and just take a stretch over your straight leg. Amazing. All right, let's switch legs. So kneel on your new one. Take your other foot out to the side. Arms long. Inhale to get ready. Start with no pulses, just your biggest, deepest twist, and then release. Exhale. Yes, you can keep both arms straight, or the back arm can bend a little extra, yeah, to help you find a deeper twist. All right, one more, and then getting little extra contractions going. We pulse, release, and go deeper, go the deepest, and then front, other side. And return. So good. Twist, twist. The less the lower body moves, the better. So good. One more time to each side, looking where you're twisting. Last one. Don't let that knee collapse inwards. And 1. Whew. All right. Reach the leg out long. Pinky toe is down. Hands to the head, and then we side bend away from the long leg and then towards it. So nice. Away and then towards it. Yeah, this is really tricky. When we do this on the reformer, we have our foot under a strap, right? So we have something gluing us down. We don't have that now, so we have to hold back a little bit. Whew. Let's do that 2 more times. All right, now lean away from the long leg, grab the ribs with one arm, other arm high, and then we do small little pulses. Up a centimeter, down a centimeter, little itty bitty lifts. 3, 2, 1. Now pause and switch arms and then continue. Really grip onto those ribs. Lift. 3, 2, 1. And then come up and stretch over the lengthened leg. So good. All right, one last exercise to work on our side body, and then we'll stretch. All right, so come all the way down onto your side. Your bottom arm is going to be straight, palm down. Both legs are also straight. Unless you're having trouble balancing, you can bend the bottom one. Okay, so I'm in one long line. My top arm is on my side, unless you need it on the floor for support. All right, now I'm going to lift both of my legs. As I do that, I'm also going to pull my bottom hand closer to me. So see, there's sunlight coming under this arm, and then release and come back down. So if that was too crazy, bend your bottom knee. Lift and side bend, and then come back down. Very good. This top arm is really a measure of how far we're side bending. So the closer it gets to the kneecap, the more we've got going on. Now lift up there and stay. Hold at the top position. Lift your top leg, whoop, and your hand might actually touch your kneecap. Drop it down, and then release to the mat. A few more times. Glide and hold. Woo, that bottom shoulder has to stay working. Oh, do that 2 more times. Lift and hold. Top leg, lower, and release. Last one. Down, and then relax. Whew. Amazing. All right, flip over, other side. Okay, here we go. Bottom arm long, legs are reaching. Feel this bottom oblique drawing gently away from the floor. Here we go. If you're having trouble, fingertips down, like you're trying to pull your mat towards you with your bottom hand. Slide it, and then release and lower. It is not easy. Yeah, we're balancing on a little bony point of that bottom hip. Not an easy thing to balance on. It's like, here's this golf ball. Balance on it. Not easy, okay? Whew, let's do that a couple more times, and then we'll add on the pause and the hold and the leg lift. Okay, let's get up there and hold it. Top leg goes up and down without anything else changing, and then lower. Lift and stay. Ooh, a little wobbly, up and down, and then lower. So good. 2 more times. Lift. Stay connected to that bottom lat. Awesome, you guys. Last one. Lift, up and down, and then lower. Whew. Okay, you guys. We are going to take one last stretch for our abdominals. So just flip onto your stomach, nice and easy. Turn your legs out. They can be nice and wide. Hands are down. Now, draw your abs up away from the floor. Glutes are squeezing. Now, think of keeping your abs short here for the first couple, and just come into a small back extension, and then come back down. So we're going to work our way up to a bigger one, okay? Do that again. Squeeze your glutes. Maybe you come up a little higher, and then lower down. How big is up to you. You can even leave your ribs down and just keep this in your upper back, or you can lift the belly button and come into a full back extension, okay? That is just all you. You decide what your abs need to stretch and what your back needs. Let's do that 2 more times. Lift and then lower. Last one. Lift. Let's hold it this time. Breathe. Maybe look up a little higher. All right. Okay, tuck your knees in. Sit back to kind of round out the spine after all that stretch. All right, you guys. So good. Thank you so much for joining me for today's abdominal workout. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like. Please comment down below if you have any feedback or ideas for future videos. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be sure to turn on notifications and share this video with a friend. And I'll see you next time. Bye.